Hi everyone, I'm Sophie and welcome to this free flow yoga practice. So this is for you if you always are craving a little bit of space while you are practicing, but the traditional poses don't allow those extra movements that your body wants. If you're quite new to yoga, this might feel a bit scary and there's not a lot of guidance from me. It's more about guidance from your body. So if you are after something a little bit more structured, please go check out my other videos. There's lots to choose from. This can be quite a nice time to find your favourite music. It doesn't have to be something yoga-like. And it's a chance for you just to move, really. So all these things are an invitation. You don't have to do any of the things that I am suggesting. So we're going to start seated. I am seated on something. I've got a little cushion underneath my bottom to lift my hips. You might find that you're comfortable seated without anything underneath. We're going to be here for a little bit longer maybe than you might be used to. So get comfortable. And then we will start by closing down the eyes. Take a few moments to reconnect to the breath. Maybe the breath is in and out through the nose. Maybe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe there's some noise that the breath wants to make because it exits your body. And you can be perfectly still here, or you can already bring that movement into the body. Totally up to you. But we're using this as a bookmark, so forgetting about what has happened before now. We're stepping onto the mat, new and fresh. And if throughout this practice any of these things feel awkward, just know that you're at home. Nobody else can see you. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. Okay, so throughout this practice you can keep your eyes closed if that helps to connect to your body more. I'm going to blink my eyes open. And we're going to start simply by some seated cat-cows. So inhale, send the tailbone backwards, lift the chest. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest. And so I'll always give you an idea of how to move in case you don't have any clue, but these are just ideas, just invitations. So if you're ready to flow freely already, go ahead. But we'll start to slowly mobilize the spine. And you can connect to your breath, or you can simply just breathe and move separately. So keep flowing. So we're starting on this forwards and backwards plane. But we're going to move all the way around the planes of the body. And you can move the hands up and down the legs if that feels nice. You can maybe move more straight with the body. That might feel good for you. Now we're going to start to move in a different way. So we're going to start to circle around. So maybe on your inhale, you can forward squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, you send the shoulder blades backwards. But you don't have to do that. You can simply circle the top part of your body. You could lead with your shoulder. Come back with your shoulder, or you could sort of move as like a figure of 8 maybe. So again, just tapping in, seeing what is coming up for you, how your body wants to move. And I'll try to go quiet at some points just so that you can lead these movements with your own intuition. If you're circling, maybe change the direction. And then slowly start to bring yourself back to stillness. So we're going to take a moment after every little block of movement to be still. And this stillness is your opportunity to notice what's going on in the body. Any sensations, any tingles of energy shifting, any echoes of that movement. Maybe your opportunity to come back to the breath. Lovely. So nice and slowly make your way to all fours. Remove anything that you were sat on. And so coming to all fours, and that first traditional movement, and these are always places that you can stay if this feels a little bit odd. So we're going to start with a cat-cow. So inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the chest. Exhale to round. Inhale and exhale. And again, it doesn't have to be straight connected to the movements. Lovely. But for me, I always have that feeling of need to move in different directions. So now if you want to, you could start to move side to side. So lifting one shoulder forwards, then the other. You can start to make a big circle all the way around and forwards. Again, these are just ideas. Flow with what feels good for you. You can make like a barrel movement. So the hips start to circle, the body starts to circle. And again, find your own way. With me, it sort of feels like one's going one way, so hips are going one way, body's going the other, but I think they're both just moving separately in the same direction. If you want to come back to child's pose, sway the hips a little bit, then move forwards, back to all fours. You could even go as low as cobra with this forwards and backwards motion. So again, I'm going to go quiet so you've got a chance to tap in. And then we're going to come back to child's pose. and take that moment of stillness. Walk the hands to the knees. Lovely, everyone. And then we're going to make our way to standing. And you don't have to be confined by your mat here. Feel free to move around the room if you have the space. So again, the first movement that I'm going to suggest is we're going to start to circle the hips. You can place your hands on your hips. And this is nice if you have any problems with your lower back or tightness in the hips. It's a really good way to maybe click and crack the hips and the back. Works for me, might not work for you. I've already felt and heard a few. So go one way, go the other. And then again, you can stay with this circling. You could maybe start to sway side to side, again in like a little bit of a figure of 8 motion. If you have music, start to move with the music maybe, bending the knees, moving the head. This is also your opportunity to break out into a little dance if you want to. Depends how high energy the music is. We can bring the hands here in, swaying the hands one way, swaying them the other way. We could maybe as well, opportunity for a bit of a shake. Maybe that little movement side to side brings the hands to tap along the body. These are all just options. Find the ones that feel good for you. Maybe there's ones that I'm not suggesting. And then final one that feels quite good is to reach the arms into the sky. And then with a big sigh, let the whole body fold forwards, maybe slap the mat and roll back up. So you're really releasing that energy. Inhale, lift the arms, exhale. You could roll a bit slower up and down the spine. So again, I'll go quiet. Take your chance to move. And then ever so slowly start to wind down that movement and come back to stillness. If you want to close the eyes, go ahead. Again, your chance to notice. And then from here, we're going to come all the way down, hands to the ground, and we're going to step back to a downward facing dog. And so your movement patterns here, bend in one knee, bend in the other, shaking the hips, maybe releasing that one leg up, take a big circle, then the other. Maybe a little Shakti roll, so rolling forwards to high plank. Bend the knees, send the tailbone backwards. You could lift one hand off if you want to, take a bit of a circle. And then the other, maybe stretch sideways. If you want to come back down onto the knees, go ahead. And then take a moment of stillness. Lower the knees if you need to at this moment for your stillness. And then bringing the right knee in towards the center of the hands and dropping over onto your right hip. So we're in like a 90-90 stretch, but more like 45-45, also known as deer. So the right leg is bent in towards, so that the sole of the foot is near the thigh, and then that left leg is bent so that the heel is moving towards or away from the hip, whatever feels comfortable. And then here we're just going to explore. So the places to explore: forwards over that right leg, backwards over that left foot, twisting side to side, moving the hands up and over, maybe some shoulder rolls with each arm, forward, backwards, side to side. So again, I'm going to go quiet, your opportunity to move. Lovely. Send the hands behind you. And now if you want to, you could take some rolls of the feet side to side, knees side to side. So windscreen wiper in the knees. If that feels nice. If not, you can go straight to the other side. So we're taking that deer pose on the other side. And again, we're exploring the movements that you can do while you're here. And those movements could be that you find a nice stretch and then you simply rock. It doesn't have to be big. These shapes can be as big or as small as feels comfortable in your body. And then if you want to, you can take those little rock and rolls with the knees. And then come to stillness, somewhere seated, whatever feels comfortable. Close the eyes. Maybe there is still some movement left in the body, so you can keep moving if you want to. Maybe the hands want to move. Maybe some rolls of the wrists, shakes of the head and the neck. And then our final place that we are going to move through, I am going to use again something underneath my hips. I just find it a little bit easier for this pose. So it could be a cushion, it could be a block, just a normal cushion off your sofa will do perfectly well. We're going to give ourselves a bit of a big hug actually. So feet can be together or apart, again, whatever feels comfortable. You can hug around the shins, or if it's easier to send the hands in between the thighs and the calves, that could work. If you have something to hand like a jumper or a strap, you could wrap that around you as well. And then here, we're going to start to rock from side to side. If you want to, your head can lower. Just brings the awareness in a little bit more. There's something nice for you to look at. Feel free to gaze out at whatever that is. So we'll stay here on the cushion for a little bit, and then we're going to roll up and down the spine. So we'll change it up a little bit in a moment, but for now, a nice gentle sway. Lovely. If you are sat on something now, remove that from underneath you once more. We're going to come into the same shape. And if you want to, you could take a little moment to balance on the tailbone, tucking the chin into the chest. This could be a moment of stillness, but we're working with the balance. Or if you want to, we're going to take some rolls up and down the spine. So make sure you are all clear behind you. And just start to roll up and down. If you want to, you could roll onto your back. Start to rock from side to side. And this could turn into whatever feels good for you. Maybe straightening the legs. Maybe rolling all the way onto one side. Maybe rolling around your whole room if you've got the space. Maybe straightening out and rolling like you would if you were rolling down a hill. It's your opportunity to have a little play about. Lovely. And then again, We're going to come down, or you're going to come down onto your back. I'm going to stay seated so that you can hear me. So making your way down into Shavasana. And then this is the place where you're going to notice those movements with an opportunity to be still. But again, if you've still got movement that wants to come out of the body, feel free to keep moving, laying down, any stretches, any movements that you need. I am going to leave you here. So feel free to take whatever you need, whether that is stillness or whether that's some more stretches. End this practice in a way that feels nourishing for your body. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.